Somewhere in the last few years, the world convinced you that attention equals success. That if you are not visible, you are irrelevant. That if you are not posting, performing, branding, selling yourself daily, you will be left behind. And quietly, many people accepted a painful belief. If I don't build a social media presence, I can't become wealthy. That belief is not modern wisdom. It is modern noise. And tonight, we dismantle it, because billionaires have always built wealth quietly. Before the internet, before influencers, before algorithms, before viral fame. They built systems that worked while they slept, systems that grew while nobody clapped, systems that didn't require constant performance, and those systems still exist today. They are just hidden beneath the noise of attention culture. Let me speak to you honestly. You've felt the exhaustion, the pressure to post, to show your life, to share your progress, to craft an image, to become a product, and something inside you resisted. Not laziness, not fear, a deeper instinct. That wealth should not require living as a public performance. That instinct is right. Most people today are chasing attention. Billionaires are building engines. Attention is fragile. It depends on trends, moods, algorithms, scandals. Engines are durable. They produce regardless of who is watching. One creates anxiety. The other creates inevitability. This video is not anti-social media. It is pro-sovereignty. It is about reclaiming the truth that wealth does not require constant visibility. It requires quiet structure. Stay with me, because the first system begins where most people never think to look. The first billionaire system is automatic asset accumulation. Ordinary people wait to feel motivated to save or invest. Billionaires remove motivation from the equation. Money moves automatically into assets before they can touch it. No discipline, no reminder, no emotional negotiation. The system works quietly in the background like a heartbeat. This is why some people grow wealth without talking about it. Their system never asks for attention. The second system is private skill compounding. Ordinary people announce learning. Billionaires learn quietly. Reading, studying, experimenting, building competence in silence. Skills compound invisibly. And when they finally surface, the world calls it overnight success. But the success was never overnight. It was underground. Noise seeks validation. Quiet seeks mastery. The third system is ownership first design. Ordinary people build lifestyles. Billionaires build ownership positions, equity, businesses, intellectual property, royalties, licensing, stakes, things that produce value without daily presence. Ownership is silent. It does not require posting. It requires structure. This is the first crack in the illusion that attention is necessary. The fourth system is long horizon investing. Ordinary people chase quick wins. Billionaires place long-term positions. They let time do heavy lifting. Time is quiet. Time does not trend. Time does not go viral. Yet time is the greatest wealth machine ever created. The fifth system is distraction elimination. Ordinary people drown in feeds. Billionaires design focus. They remove digital noise. They shorten decision paths. They simplify environments. Silence becomes a productivity advantage. Focus becomes a competitive edge. This is where quiet becomes power. The sixth system is reputation by results, not self-promotion. Ordinary people try to look successful. Billionaires let outcomes speak. Deals closed, assets grown, businesses scaled. People notice results naturally, not because they were marketed, because they were undeniable. Visibility earned by results is stable. Visibility forced by performance is fragile. The seventh system is network by value, not exposure. Ordinary people try to meet everyone. Billionaires attract the right people through demonstrated competence. When you build real value quietly, The right connections seek you, not the other way around. The eighth system is emotion-free execution. Ordinary people ride emotional waves. Billionaires rely on routines and defaults. Execution does not depend on feeling inspired. It happens because the system demands it. The ninth system is asymmetric risk design. Ordinary people take equal risk for equal reward. Billionaires design upside-heavy positions. Limited downside, unlimited upside. That requires structure, not attention. The 10th system is privacy as advantage. Ordinary people overshare. Billionaires undershare. Privacy protects strategy. Silence protects leverage. Mystery protects negotiation power. Not everything that grows should be exposed while growing. Let that settle quietly. At this point, something important should feel clear. Wealth has never needed constant visibility. It needed intelligent systems. Systems that run while you live your life. Systems that grow while you rest. Systems that produce without performance. Most people chase the spotlight. Billionaires build the machine behind the stage. But we are not finished. Because the real shift is not in knowing these systems. It is in choosing to trust quiet progress in a world addicted to noise. Part 2 is where identity locks in. Where you stop believing attention equals worth. Where you start believing structure equals freedom. Somewhere along the way, society quietly equated visibility with value. If you are seen, you matter. If you are followed, you are important. If you are viral, you are successful. And without noticing, millions began living for the camera instead of for the compound effect. They perform their lives instead of building them. They chase applause instead of assets. They measure worth by likes instead of leverage. But wealth has never worked that way. Not in any century. Not in any civilization. True wealth grows in places where cameras never look. Think about the most powerful forces on Earth. Deep ocean currents, tectonic plates, roots of ancient trees. None of them are visible on the surface. Yet they shape continents, forests, and futures. Quiet power is always the real power. Loud power is decoration. Billionaires understand this instinctively. They don't build for attention. They build for inevitability. They don't ask, will people notice me? They ask, will this system still work in 10 years? One question builds performance. The other builds permanence. Most people feel anxious if they are not seen. They worry that if they don't show progress, progress isn't real. But growth does not need witnesses. A seed does not live stream while breaking soil. A building does not post stories while rising. Real construction happens out of sight. Once you understand this, the pressure to perform disappears. You no longer feel forced to announce every step. You no longer feel behind because others appear ahead online. You realize most online visibility is noise without structure. And most quiet builders are invisible until they become undeniable. This is the moment attention addiction begins to fall away. You stop asking, how do I get noticed? And start asking, what am I quietly building? That single shift changes everything. Most people spend years curating a personal brand with no asset behind it. Billionaires spend years building assets with no brand in front of them. When assets mature, the brand appears automatically, not forced, not manufactured, earned. Quiet wealth is not secrecy for ego. It is patience for power. This is why old money families stay rich across generations. They do not overshare. They do not chase trends. They do not expose strategies. They protect information. They protect structure. They protect time. Silence becomes a financial instrument. Modern culture tells you to show everything. Billionaire culture tells you to reveal only when necessary. And this is where true sovereignty appears. You stop being dependent on audience reaction. You stop being dependent on algorithm favor. You stop being dependent on external validation. Your progress no longer rises and falls with engagement metrics. It rises and falls only with your structure. That is freedom. Most people are not tired from working. They are tired from performing. Performing happiness, performing success, performing ambition, performing hustle. Billionaires don't perform, they build. And building is calm. Building is private. Building is quiet. Building is patient. This is why they can sustain effort for decades. 'Cause they are not feeding an audience. They are feeding an engine. Now pause and imagine a life where you do not need to be seen to feel worthy. Where you do not need to post to feel progressing. Where you do not need to announce to feel successful. Where your bank account grows quietly. Your skills deepen quietly. Your assets compound quietly. Your reputation forms quietly. Your future strengthens quietly. No pressure, no performance, no comparison. Just construction. Most people will finish this video and return to chasing attention. A few will finish this video and start building quietly. That difference is invisible today. But in 10 years, it separates spectators from architects. You do not need social media to build wealth. You need systems. You need structure. You need patience. You need a rule book. And that is why this channel exists. Not to make you loud, but to make you inevitable. Welcome to the quiet path. Billionaire Rulebook, rules that make wealth inevitable.